Let's bring in Committee to Unleash Prosperity co-founder and former Trump economic advisor, Steve Moore. Steve Moore, 1.4% annualized inflation, second term so far for President Trump. Weekly paychecks up 1.3%. Energy prices, boom, falling. And bupkis from the people who also dismissed the runaway inflation and the cost of living crisis the last 4 years.
Yeah, what can I say, Dagan? You're right. It's a beautiful picture. And boy, what a difference a few months make. You know, a couple of months ago, we were all on the ledge as the stock market was crashing. And it looks like Trump has really pulled this thing out amazingly. So you're right. All of those statistics are correct. We have a record number of job openings today. We've got those inflation numbers. And by the way, I'm willing to admit even I was wrong. I thought the inflation would be higher than it has come in at. And I guess that teaches me to never second guess Donald Trump. But these are really good numbers. And we haven't even passed the tax cut yet. I mean, you think it's good now? Wait until we get that tax cut passed, signed, sealed, and delivered. Trump is just pushing all the right buttons, and all the people who were naysayers who said inflation was going to go through the roof and the programs would never win, and Trump had some sinister plan to dismantle the American economy. No, that was Joe Biden who had the sinister plan to dismantle the economy.
Well, Steve, it takes a strong man to admit when you're wrong, so we've all been wrong, especially when you do this for a living. I guess, what's the why behind that? Why have we seen inflation cool?
Great question. And it's because look what's happening production. Look what's happening to investment in America. I just spoke at a big industrial conference yesterday about 200 major construction and manufacturing companies. I said, how many of you is business good or great? And about 80% of them raised their hands. I guarantee over the last 4 years, if you would ask that question, it would have been 20% would have raised their hands. So we're producing more goods and services. This is what supply side economics is all about. You produce more goods, you produce more food, you produce more gas and energy. Guess what? The prices go down. It's not that complicated.
Those puppet masters in the White House also were actively trying to strangle whole industries. All of artificial intelligence development, they told the tech industry, we will control 2 or 3 companies and that's it. There will be no startups. It is astonishing what they were doing. Let's move on to this. President Trump is now saying that the deal with China is done after his trade trio concluded marathon talks with Beijing officials in London this week. Here's what Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said about the talks.
So, we have reached a framework to implement the Geneva Consensus and the call between the 2 presidents. So the idea is we're going to go back and speak to President Trump and make sure he approves it. They're going to go back and speak to President Xi and make sure he approves it. And if that is approved, we will then implement the framework that we have worked hard over these last 2 days.
What do you make of it, Steve? Doesn't sound like it's a done deal, but it's a step.
Mm-hmm. If I may, I want to go back to something you just said, Dagan, that's very important about AI and how important it is for the United States to dominate the AI revolution as we did the internet revolution. And now what you've got is a campaign going on in America by the left. It's called existential risk. I don't know if you've been following this, but it's this doomsday scenario that if we continue to develop AI, that somehow we're going to come to the extinction of the human species. And this is all being funded by China because China wants to take over the AI realm the way that we took over the internet. So it's really subversive that there's so many of these left-wing groups that are trying to shut off our AI and our robotics so China can lead on that. Now, on the China deal, I don't know the specifics. None of us do yet. I'm a little skeptical on this because I don't think you can trust China. I think these guys, they're just not, they may sign something, they may sign a treaty or a trade deal, but you have to have trust but verify. You have to make sure they're living under it because it's like the old Soviet Union. They lie.
They like, well, you know, but President Trump's not naive, so, you know, he's got to know that, right? So, and he's a business guy.
That is true. You're right about that.
Yeah, he's not a dummy. So, Steve Moore, we appreciate you. Thanks for coming on the show. Take care.
Thanks, Lisa. Take care.